Hey, it's Random Code here, and today we're going to continue working on Kotlin, and in this video we're going to discuss conditionals. And conditionals is very simply, I think just showcase the example is the best way of describing it. But in this case, we first have a variable, value number of the value 10. We would then simply first check if our number is equals to 10. So if some kind of condition is matching, then print to the console, correct. Else, so if it's not correct, if our number is not equals to 10, print wrong. So if we run this, it's going to be printing correct. And note, we have a highlight here showcasing that, of course, this is always going to be true because we're directly defining our variable to be 10 up here. But just note, in a more real case scenario, you would have some kind of, I don't know, bigger mechanism that's actually generating a number and you would check it in that number. So don't worry about that. So as we just saw when running this, because our value number is equals to 10, and no difference that when we declare a variable, we use a single equal sign. But when we check if a condition is true, we use two equal signs. And if we now change our value to be 11, for example, and run our program again, we would see that we would print wrong, because now we check if our number is equal to 10. It's not. We then always print wrong no matter what. Then if we want to do it a bit more complicated, we can check first if our number is equal to 10, then print correct. Else if, so a second check, if our number is above 10, print above. Or then again, if it's not either equal to 10 or above in this case, print wrong. And we can see in this case we get above because our number is 11. If we did 9, it's going to be wrong because it's not equals to 10 or above 10. So it's going to be wrong. If we do 10, it's just going to be correct. So that's like the actual base of conditional and the base of all programming more or less. It's just simply if something's true, do something. Else if, so second check, or we can do it like infinite amount of times. And then simply an else, if everything else fails, do this. This is then still very simple and more or less the same for all programming languages. This is actually exact same as how we would do it in Java. It's more or less the same as we do it in Python, so on. Then a thing that's a bit different from Java, and it's kind of, I don't know if it's only Kotlin doing this, but at least Kotlin have this feature, which I think is kind of nice, is that we can actually define a variable from the result of a conditional. So we can do value result of type string. And note now is actually quite useful to define the type because we don't know yet what type it's going to be, but we want to ensure it's a string, so we define it's a string. And we then simply set this value equal to an if statement. And because we do it this way, we simply check if our number is equals to 10, then return our result or set our result as correct. And note in Kotlin it's quite easy. We don't need to define that we're returning this string or anything crazy. We just need to define if this condition is true, then correct, and it's then inferred that because our value result string is equal to the result from our conditional, that is gonna be correct. And in this case, to showcase it works, we just simply print our result to the console. So in our case now, let's actually move this down so we can see it. We don't have to jump up and down, but our value now is equal to 10. So we expect our result to be correct. So when we run our program, we're gonna go through and see it's correct. Number is gonna be equal to 10. Our result is gonna be equal to the result of our conditional. In this case, our conditional is if number equals to 10, that's true. Result equals true, correct. And one thing to note, we then always need an else on a conditional returning it to a value, even though in this case I check equals to 10, I check above and below. So we actually check all the cases, but this is not known by Kotlin, so it still needs an else to catch if everything else fails to ensure that our result always have a value. And if I remove our else, for example, it's going to be complaining because then we might end up having a result that's like not been declared. Then, similar, we can use the conditional with a simple if else. We could also use something called a when, which to me looks very similar to a switch in most other program languages. where we simply do, it's more or less the same as our if else, it's just a bit simpler and cleaner, showing that our value result is equal to when our number is equal to 10, set our result to correct. When our number is above 10, set it to above. When our number is below 10, set it to below, else set it to how. So it's more or less the exact same thing as we're doing above using our if else. It's just more compact and a bit easy to read. Simply that our value result is going to be equal to when our this condition is true, correct, when this condition is true, and so on. And then again, we show that it works. So now let's do below, for example. So let's add 9. It's going to go through all our whens. When number equals 10, that's false. Number above 10, false. Number below 10, true. Set result equals to below and print below. So I hope you enjoyed this walkthrough of 4 main cases of conditionals. And of course, this is just one showcase using like a number check. We can check on anything we want, anything that returns a true false value. So if you enjoyed this quick showcase of conditionals in Kotlin, please leave a like and subscribe, and I wish you all a wonderful